I arrived in Albuquerque on the eve of the Balloon Festival of all things. How awesome is that? I thought. You'll get to see some hot air balloons. How naive can you be, Sue? There's no way you can get close to this thing without putting out some money. So this is all I actually saw. Even though I was in Albuquerque for the beginning of the festival and back again at the end, I never saw a balloon the whole time. But I did find a lovely Walmart, and that was my home base for a few days. I had some time to kill before I could move into the campsite I'd reserved at Chaco Canyon further north. So what is there to do in Albuquerque? I Googled it and found the addresses of all the filming sites for Breaking Bad. Oh yes, I'm a Breaking Bad fan, and the thought of finding where everybody lived was really intriguing. And Saul's office was right around the corner. But when I got there, it just didn't look right. It was a store, like a hardware store or something. And even though there was an employee standing near the door, I was feeling a little weird, so I just left and did a little more research. Here's the door. It was just down a little bit to the left. I came back the next day and, getting a little bolder, headed north just a few blocks to Walt's house. Could that be Walt in the driveway? No, it's the owner's son protecting it from pizza throwers. Apparently it's a big problem during this fiesta. Walt and Skylar didn't have much of a commute. About a few blocks down the hill is the car wash. They were doing a good business. On to find Marie and Hank's house. They live in a very nice neighborhood. He must have been pulling in the bucks. So up the mountain, way up in this exclusive neighborhood, sits their house. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, now we're going back down toward Albuquerque and to the west a bit, to a quiet little neighborhood park that we know so well. And there are lots of benches. Which one is Mike's? After consulting Google and looking at some photos, I decided this was it. I asked this guy if his name was Mike. He just laughed. Breaking Bad fan, huh? Our next destination takes us to an industrial area south of town. Yes, it's the laundry. And I discover I'm not the only one out looking for these places today. How funny is that? I don't know about you guys, but this place still looks suspicious. What exactly is in those tubs? Jesse's first house is in a very quiet little neighborhood on the southwest side of town. I didn't make it to the various restaurants on the list or the Indian reservation where they buried everything. So, what else is there to do in Albuquerque? A little southwest of town is a petroglyph national monument and remnants of old volcanoes. Millions of years ago, all of this was hot, molten lava. Volcanic activity leaves a glaze on the rocks, suited for petroglyphs. So another area of the park has this. Boca Negra Canyon, a mountain of lava rock that has been used by the native people for who knows how many thousands of years. communicate with each other. There's a steep little trail that takes you to the top and back down again. But really, the petroglyphs are everywhere. These were on the walkway, right on the ground, pretty close to the parking lot, while these were up high and I needed to zoom in to see them. If it hadn't have been for the sign, I would have thought this next petroglyph was a hoax. But indeed, when the Spaniards came through, they did leave their crosses and mark on the rocks. So this was not actually graffiti like I thought after all. There were, I think it was 17 distinct tribes who claimed the Pueblos as their ancestors. They have been reduced to around 8, and their reservations are surrounding Albuquerque. This museum is dedicated to the many tribes and tells their story, giving each its own wing. Their story is often told in their artwork. Here's a piece I found very moving. In my rendition, he holds in his hands items that'll determine the future existence of the Pueblo people. The knotted cord in his right hand was used to determine when the revolt will begin. The bear fetish in his left hand symbolizes the center of the Pueblo world, the Pueblo religion. The drum in front of him symbolizes the song and ceremonies of the Pueblo culture. The medicine bags he has hanging around his neck are filled with the necessary elements for his commitment to his medicine society of which he belongs. Clothing consists of a loincloth and moccasins of the Pueblo fashion. His hair is cut in Pueblo tradition and hangs loosely to symbolize rain. He has an eagle feather down tied to the top of his head, which connects his soul and prayers to the Creator. The broken crucifix symbolizes the break from the oppressors and the forced religion that was suppressed upon the Pueblo people.